Every person has a story, but not everyone has a place to tell it. I'm Frank Swoboda. As a filmmaker for over 35 years, I've interviewed amazing people all over the planet. I want you to meet them. This week, the most interesting person you've never heard of is...
Hello, my name is Andre McGann. I am the most interesting person you never heard of because I have the most spectacular venue in Washington State.
Andre McGann, welcome to the most
Cheers.
interesting person you've never heard of podcast. Okay, you're
Thank
about
you.
to do the Amador taste test. Tell me what you
Amador
think.
taste.
Tell me the truth.
Very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah. As being a non-whiskey guy, I love that. That's good.
See, I was a non-whiskey guy too, and then I was given this, and I'm like, I actually like that.
Yeah, no, it's good.
Because I've been to your house / concert venue, which we're going to talk about,
Correct.
live at Andre's, and you have, let me just say, a lot of top shelf booze. Right?
True story.
Yeah, but you're a rum guy.
I am.
Why rum? That's not something people hear. It's a lot of times whiskey or gin.
Yeah. I spend a lot of time in the
Scotch.
Caribbean
Oh.
and kind of got turned on some good rums and then became kind of a bit of a, I guess, a passion of mine to try to find some good rums. And so I started buying it for wherever I'm at. And you start to find that some pretty odd places have some really good rums.
Really? What's
Yeah.
your favorite rum?
Currently, my favorite rum is called Zaya, and it's out of Trinidad. And that's a really good sipping rum.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
But I did find that St. Lucia, this couple years ago, I found that they had a really good spiced rum called Bounty.
Bounty.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of Dark and Stormies?
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the drinks.
What's your favorite rum?
I'm just a
drink, then?
fan of dark rum.
Okay.
So I don't like the Bacardi Lights and anything like that.
Yeah.
It's
What's
a
your
little
favorite rum drink then? If it's not.
Oh,
Dark
I
and
just mix
Stormy?
it with a cola. Yeah,
Oh.
just a Cuba Libre.
All right. Okay. All right. Simple.
Simple.
Just like you.
Lots of lime.
Well, we'll talk about your concert venue, but you grew up in Kettle Falls.
Correct.
So, what did you live there your whole life? Is that where you were born?
No, I was born in Washington, D.C. My parents moved out after
Really?
I was probably about 7, 8 years old. Went to third grade through summer before junior year of high school, and
Wow.
moved to Seattle.
What was that? Was there a culture shock coming from DC?
Massive.
What was that?
Well, not from D.C. to Kettle Falls, because I was young enough that it didn't really impact me. But the Kettle Falls to Seattle was a pretty big one.
Isn't that funny? I think
Yeah.
that's probably true.
Yeah, I went from a graduating class of probably less than 30 to having a graduating class of like 400.
Wow. We're in Seattle.
I was at Roosevelt High School.
Roosevelt High School in
Yeah.
Seattle. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big school.
That was a big change.
How'd you do on the transition?
Well, it took a minute.
Stay in your lane.
No, so there was a little thing called the All City Marching Band, and it's a band that they comprise of all the high schools in the city that play all the parades in the summertime. And,
Okay, yeah,
and
sure.
so somehow my mother had read something about it and told me I should go to it, and I wasn't really going to. And then at one point, the day of the time of the first practice or whatever rehearsal, she asked, "Are you going?" And I said, "Yeah, I think I'll go." And she goes, "All right, well, have fun." I thought I was gonna get a ride, but I had to ride my bike, so I had to ride over.
Thanks, Mom. That's not cool.
Yeah. So I rode over there, and it was a great start because it gave me an opportunity to meet a lot of students from around the whole city.
Oh, that's cool.
And it ultimately helped me choose Roosevelt High School because I knew more people from Roosevelt. And it was just down the road from where we were living. So
And you're a percussionist drummer, right?
I am.
So were you drumming already before you in Kettle Falls?
Yes, I had my first drum set when I was 3 years old.
3
Yep.
in DC.
In D.C.
What in the world made that happen?
Parents with poor decisions.
Yeah.
No, they're into music. My dad was a guitar player.
Oh, really?
And we just sort of somehow I ended up with one for a Christmas gift. And,
Wow. What did your parents do?
my stepfather, who I grew up with, is a electrical engineer. And then my mom was more of a gardener, does tons of She worked at a bakery at one point. So worked at a bakery in Colville, actually, I believe, when I was younger. So.
And so Dad gives you this drum set. Did you love it right away? Do you remember not drumming?
I don't remember not drumming. I feel like it's always been a part of me. And I had an uncle that also played drums as well, and sort of gave me some inspiration for it.
Huh.
And advice. He says, as soon as you think you're a good drummer, he goes, turn the drum set around and play left-handed. So,
whoa.
Great advice. Never really took it to heart, but
there's still time.
yeah, it's true.
You can do it now.
I could use a little work on the non-dominant hand.
Wow. That's funny. We just had another guy, Tom Taylor, sound engineer, that worked on Train Dreams, the movie that got nominated for an Oscar. He was just on the podcast, and we had he brought a drum with him and stuff.
Oh, nice.
So I got a lot of drummers right now.
There you go.
What's going? That's crazy.
Tis the season.
Tis the season to be a drummer. So, fast forward, you graduate from Roosevelt, I'm assuming.
I did, yes.
Where'd you go to college? You go to college? Did you just go right into your career, which is a pretty amazing one to me, I think.
Yeah. I did go to college. I went to University of Washington. I did some prereqs at North Seattle Community College, but I ultimately got into a biomedical electronics program.
Wow.
Which was kind of repairing and troubleshooting monitoring systems in hospitals and medical equipment.
Okay. My daughter just graduated from UW last year.
There you go.
So.
Congratulations.
Yep. Go Dogs,
yes,
right?
Yes, indeed.
I know.
So I wasn't what I learned pretty quickly was that I advanced very, very quickly in the medical side. And the electronics side, I wasn't so keen to, because I learned that I liked consumer electronics, not broken electronics.
No, there's a difference.
And I like troubleshooting it.
Yeah.
So
you like the preamp.
Yes. So at any rate, that's what drew me to the medicine, and I ultimately wanted to get into some form of medicine, but I didn't want to go through all the training to be a physician, because I felt like you just get stuck behind a desk being diagnosing the flu.
Living in a clinic all day.
Yeah, something like that. So that's what drew me to paramedicine, and learned that you had to get in the fire department, start as a firefighter first, and
so some kids want to grow up and be a firefighter, and then they become a paramedic. You wanted to be a paramedic. Yep. You went the medical side first.
I just kind of took the hit to be a fireman for a bit.
Took the hits. How long were you a fireman?
Only about 3 years.
Okay, so you were a paramedic.
I mean, still technically, we're still firefighter paramedics.
Right.
But once you're on the box, meaning the ambulance or the medic unit, you're pretty committed to that spot. You don't really do much fighting fire at that point.
So what year, how old were you when you became a firefighter first, right?
Yeah, I started in drill school. I was 20 years old.
Wow.
And once I got accepted. And from there, I think my third shift was my 21st birthday. Once I finished the academy.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. And so I did about 3 years, and then went into the paramedic school with paramedic school in Seattle. It's also part of University of Washington, but also it's run out of Harborview Medical Center.
Okay, yeah, Harborview.
So that's where I did my roughly 10 months. You do about 3,200 hours of training in less than a year. It's pretty intense. And when you're done, you're basically a beginner paramedic. So
did you mostly serve? I saw some photos of you fighting fires now. You're still fighting fires, but you mostly did paramedic work? Or
yeah, well, the photos you saw were mostly in my first 3 years.
Okay.
Just because I was assigned to a ladder truck in the University District, and we, back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was some pretty good fires.
Yeah, and scariest moment on the fire side of what you did.
Scariest moment, I'd say, in the fire side would be, thinking back, we had a pretty good fire at Magnuson Park, where the officers' quarters were on fire. And there was a point where they were trying to get the ladder over towards us, but we were up on the roof cutting holes to vent it, and it started to kind of collapse in on us. So that was pretty tight.
You're standing on the roof,
yeah,
and it's collapsing. Yeah,
so that was pretty good. You did see a photo of me in a bad situation, and this actually, I was already a paramedic.
Okay.
I was working as a firefighter that day, and we got kind of caught we were working in a fire in a auto parts store, So there's a lot of explosives, a lot of flammable materials in there.
Oh boy.
And there was a point where it was getting a little too dicey in there. Things were kind of blowing up. And so we started to work our way back out. And right as we were getting to the door, it flashed on us.
Explosion?
So, yeah, everything just ignited. It's called a blovey. And
so what does that mean? Everything ignited in the building?
Yeah. And actually not a blovey. I'm sorry. It's a flashover. But anyway, yeah. So basically all the materials that were in the smoke stuff. And the smoke and all the materials that were in the air, eventually, once they got oxygen, it just ignited. And so you saw a picture of a silhouette of my body in the doorway trying to crawl out.
Was there a huge explosion sound wise?
Not particularly sound wise. It's more of it just got really hot. And the problem in the situation like that is, and as it happened with us, is everywhere you have sweat, it turns to steam instantly because it's so hot in the environment. So around your neck and down your back and some lower spots, your armpits and around your ears, you usually get burnt. More of a steam burn, but it's enough.
Did you get burned?
I did.
Are they permanent? You still have them?
No, they were just steam, like, kind of scalding type burns.
Good. Well, that worked out good.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't think what you guys do, people realize the risk of it.
Yeah. I mean, I always tell people we may be on a 24-hour shift, but we're in our home paycheck in 10 minutes because you might sit around for most of that 24 hours, but there's generally somewhere in there that you're going to be doing something.
So on the paramedic side, any moment where you were like, wow, that's one I'll never forget, or 20?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think too many to count at this point. But when you do 32 years in the service and 29 of them on the medic units, you see a lot. I mean, we've ever seen 10 to 15, sometimes 20 patients in that shift. So
were you in, did you get to see sort of the rise of homelessness and drug addiction on the ground? And what was that? What was your view of that escalation in the time that you were, because that's 32 years is a run now.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely got to see kind of a degrade of the city. I think Seattle went from pretty heyday times of really flourishing city to where they are now. And, the mid late 90s were really big for Seattle.
They were.
There were some street folks and there was definitely some drug issues, but and back even in the early parts of my career, there were some gang issues. But now it's just such an amazing amount of overdoses. And I've talked to some of my colleagues that are still working, and one day they said they had 16 calls downtown at Harborview, and only two of them, or I should say all 14 of the 16 were overdoses.
Wow.
So that can make for a long day of just
fentanyl.
Same. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Now in my day, it was more heroin. That was before fentanyl kind of hit the streets. But
how do you come home after work? How did you wrestle with that? Could you turn it off?
Yeah. I mean, for me, interestingly enough, I have some colleagues that have retired and also, or even current still working, that are dealing with some PTSD and struggles with what the job put on them. And one of the things I think that made a difference for me was when I was fairly new, I had an old crusty firefighter tell me, as long as you remember it's their emergency and not yours, you'll have a long career. And
great advice.
I've been able to distance myself on most of my career, and I can think of maybe a handful of calls that really bother me, that if I tried to tell you about them, I'd get choked up. And these are 20-year-old calls that even talking about them would affect me.
Can't even talk about them.
Well, I can, but it would be difficult.
What's one of them that's sticks with you?
Probably the one that sticks with me most is we had late afternoon, early evening, had a baseball coach, like a Little League coach, who had a drinking problem, was driving home from practice with the kids and was inebriated, and ultimately struck an elderly couple, their daughter, and their brand new granddaughter. And that was a really rough one.
Anybody survive?
Well, the daughter did and the baby did, but they're both pretty messed up. But both of the grandparents died, and they were dead on the scene. So that was a really hard one to deal with.
How were the kids? The baseball kids?
Well, they weren't in the vehicle.
They were.
Yeah, it was just a coach driving.
Just a coach. Oh, yeah. Wow.
But that one still kind of haunts me. And when I say haunts me, it doesn't like come back to mind. But when I talk about it, it's certainly difficult.
Yeah. Where was that at?
It was in the Wedgwood neighborhood of Seattle, just at the crest of a hill as the sun was kind of coming from the west.
Yeah.
It just kind of blinded them.
Wow.
But I don't know that the intoxication was as much of an issue as not being able to see.
Oh, the blind. Yeah.
But again, I didn't investigate the accident.
Sure, for sure.
Because it was.
So what was it like to live in Seattle all those times? Because you don't now, but what, how was it living in Seattle?
It was great. I think coming from Kettle Falls and moving over to there, as much as I fought it at first, I wanted to like stay with friends and finish high school and stay in Kettle Falls. But just like the All City Marching Band and many of the other things that the city offers you, it definitely gave me a trajectory in life that gave me an opportunity to be as successful as I am, because the opportunities are just endless in a city like that.
Yeah. Especially during that time.
Yeah. And during that time. So, I got real involved in the music, with the high school band, got to do a lot of trips with that. For a period of time, I was part of a youth group and playing drums and singing with them as well on summer little trips. And so it definitely offered more than I think this side of the mountains would have then. Now, on the flip side, this side of the mountains is offering everything I need now, which is none of all of that.
Right.
So,
right. But that was at the advent of like grunge and that experience. Were you experiencing any of that stuff that was going on?
I went to high school with Mike McCready and Pearl Jam.
No way.
And know some of those guys and that kind of world and all that happening.
Wow. So boy, he can play, can he?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
For sure.
Oh my God. So you just, did you drum with any bands? What did you do there? Cause you're obviously got that talent.
Not so much. I was kind of focused on my career after high school.
Yeah.
And, but I've always been in bands with my stepfather. I remember even at the age of like 12 playing like a Grange Hall dance over near Kettle Falls, like in Rice or something like that. And just playing lots of the, like classic rock, the ones that everybody knows kind of thing.
Yeah.
And even after that.
A lot of Leonard Skinner, buddy.
Yep. Jackson Brown and Eagles and Beatles.
Yeah.
We definitely, even as recent as, maybe in the last 10 years ago, maybe or less, I was in a band playing with him and some of our family friends. That's
cool.
But yeah. And now the bands I play with now are pretty much everyone that comes to the house.
Right. Exactly. So when you're in Seattle during that heyday, best concert you ever went to? Because it was quite a time.
Truth be told, the best concert I ever probably went to in Seattle was Prince.
Wow.
Yeah. That was, the Key, I think it was the Coliseum at the time. Yeah. I almost said Key Arena, but it's not even that anymore.
No, it's not even that anymore. It's Climate Pledge now, right? Yeah. Wow. I had a chance. I was filming and I was actually auditioning a bunch of actors for a thing we had to do. And I had to audition like 100 people one day. And it was the turnaround was really fast. So we had to do it in person. And I didn't have time to wait for, back then, you get a tape on the auditions and you go through them. So I went like, you know what? I'm just going to go watch them all, decide now. And I was in LA and I had a break and we were kind of waiting for them to compile stuff. So I went and had some dinner and I'm sitting in a bar and I'm sitting next to Prince's manager.
Oh, wow.
And this guy, he's one of his crew anyway,
sure.
And had been with him for years. And I was just like, when am I ever going to what, and it was just like this, good to just ask him questions, is he a jerk? Is he cool? And he's like, nah, he was the best guy ever, man. Yeah. Just such a cool guy. And, definitely eccentric and had his moments and stuff, but so dedicated to what he did. And of course he was like that. I love Prince, man. I grew up just absolutely loving that guy. That must have been a great concert.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think with the misnomer is that people think that these, they have them up on a pedestal, whether it be Prince or any musician for anything. And when you really get down to the bottom of it, we're all just people, right? And every interaction most interactions I've had with either famous people or musicians, at the end of the day, you're just like, whoa, this could be my neighbor. This could be like, they're not trying to be anybody that they just happen to have a skill set.
In fact, I always think that the bigger they are, the cooler they are, the nicer they are, most of the time.
Potentially, yeah.
Because I think you don't get there if you're not. If you're a complete jerk, you can, and your talent, it must be really good. But that stuff can get separated.
Sure.
Like you can get, and I know you deal with a lot of artists
I do.
today. So when you're working in that business as a paramedic, you also fly helicopters.
That's correct.
Is that now that you do this, or did you do that then?
No,
what got you interested in?
I've been flying for 25 years.
Okay.
So I've been a paramedic for about 10 years before I went into flight school. So,
just because you didn't have enough to do.
True. Yeah. I lost a bet.
You lost a bet?
No.
No. I was going to say, wait. Okay, firefighter. Oh, no, paramedic. Now, flight school.
Correct.
What made you want to do that? Did you just always want to fly?
So, no, I didn't. And I didn't even ever want to be a paramedic. Like, it's never one of these, like, I want to grow up and be this. And I've got a backstory on that. That's kind of interesting. But the flying came about was I was, as a paramedic, teaching flight nurses in Seattle how to do field stuff because they were coming from the hospital.
Right.
So I would teach them how to do long bone splinting and scene safety and just different things that they didn't do in the hospital that they would then start maybe doing in the field.
They might encounter it
in a helicopter. And every time I went down to teach these courses, the pilots would tell me, man, you ought to become a pilot because we're all Vietnam vets and we're going to be leaving. And they kept saying that every time I'd go down there. And it never really registered me like, yeah, I got a career and I didn't want to think much of it. One day I cracked open the Seattle Times and it said there was going to be a shortage of 19,000 helicopter pilots.
Is that right?
After the wave of Vietnam vet pilots left.
I believe it.
And I thought, well, that's kind of a sign.
Yeah, that's twice now.
Yes. So I went down.
Hint.
So I went down to the flight school and just took a demo flight, went up, and I thought that's pretty interesting.
It's fun.
And 2.5 years later, and $50,000 out of my pocket, I had my 5 ratings and no experience. So here I was.
$50,000 to learn to be a helicopter pilot.
Yeah, I mean, I had several ratings. It wasn't just private. I had to get commercial and instrument and so on.
Wow.
And that's my kind of nature in that I just kind of go after it. Like if there's something, I never kind of do a half-ass on anything. So
I've been to your house. I would agree with that.
Yeah. So guilty as charged. Now to do a little backstory on the paramedic, firefighter, helicopter, where I believe this may have come from. At the ripe old age of 6, going on to my 7th birthday, I was run over by a car. And this happened back in, not D.C., but in Maryland. And a little town called Edgewater, Maryland. And from that, I was ultimately scooped up by my grandfather, who then drove me to a fire station. And they were like, oh my God, and took me to this hospital. And the little community hospital, that's the doctor that really saved my life because he looked at me and went, I can't do this, get him out of here. So I had an exposure to firefighter and then paramedics. And then ultimately I was flown by helicopter from the Annapolis, I think it was the naval helicopter, flew me into Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. And
just the best hospital in the world.
At the time, yes, we're talking 1974.
That's where the president goes if there's trouble.
Exactly. So, so I feel like that might have been planted at a young age of like these things that I experienced that ultimately I've now turned and returned.
Of course it is.
So,
do you recall it?
Oh, very much. Yeah.
So you remember 6.
Oh yeah.
What happened to the car? Like, how did that happen? Come out of nowhere?
No, I fairly new at learning how to ride a bike. And we lived my grandparents lived down at the end of a cul-de-sac, and it's Labor Day weekend. And we're all down there, the whole family's down. And I'm, Labor Day weekend in Maryland is hot as a pistol. It's, and
the humidity too.
Yeah, okay. Exactly.
100 and 100.
So I had this little thing where, since I knew how to ride my bike, that if I heard that someone was leaving, I would ride down the road a little bit and then wave at them as they went by. It's just sort of my quirky little kid thing to do. I got in, I heard my grandfather and one of my aunts they were kind of arguing about something, but I could sense that she was leaving. So I was like, oh, I got to get on my bike and go say goodbye down the road. So I jumped on my bike, started riding. And it was a real strange kind of departure out of the cul-de-sac onto the main road where there was kind of a curving uphill approach from the right and then a long straightaway to the left. And she was pulling out and going left. I riding my bike down to, I believe, where the shoulder was on the left-hand side. She looked, I think this is all just speculative, but I believe what happened was she took a quick glance to the left, didn't see anyone coming because it's a long ways, then kept looking to the right as she was pulling out and ultimately drove over me. And
did you see it coming?
No.
Don't even remember.
Well, I don't recall that part. The next thing I remember is I remember being on the concrete or on the asphalt at the time, just burning. I felt like I was on fire. Now, granted, part of that was open wounds. Another part of it was the heat from the asphalt.
Yeah, right. You're just on the ground. Looking up.
Yeah. So I ultimately sustained 27 fractures between both my legs and pelvis.
What?
I had a torn colon and a lacerated kidney. So that's sort of my background of how I got into this medicine stuff.
Right.
So
somebody healed you.
Yeah.
Give back.
Yep.
Wow. Did you ever talk to the lady again? Did you ever meet her? She must have
felt... Oh, no, it was my aunt.
It was your aunt?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That ran you over.
Yes.
I missed that.
Yeah. Because I had heard that her and my grandfather were talking, and then she went to leave.
What was that like for her? Do you know now? Or
well, it was horrible for her. She nearly miscarried. She had a child at the time.
Oh man.
But no, I mean, everything's kind of cool. I can tell you that mostly growing up, that I don't ever remember talking about it. Not that it was like we weren't allowed to talk about it, but it just never really came up.
Yeah.
She had to deal with enough of it on her own. I don't feel like it.
But she made it okay.
Yeah.
She must have been okay.
All things considered.
She must have been happy that you ended up okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So here you go. Give back for 30 years.
That's it.
Wow. So
yes, then with the flying, so I'm still flying.
Right.
But I only do it as more of a per diem status with this company. I've been working for about 17 years flying medevacs.
What do you mean per diem status? What's that mean?
I mean, I don't have a schedule. I just work when they need me. And
you're a fill-in guy.
I just fill in, yeah. I'm a
Gotcha.
relief.
But it keeps your chops up. I mean, you got to keep doing it.
Yeah. So I'm flying a few times a month, and was just recently down in Arizona flying this last weekend. And so that's what I do now.
Is that medevac stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Any harrowing medevac experiences?
For the flying part, not so much. I had a stint where I flew for the news with Seattle, like for Cairo News, and I flew for King 5 for a bit.
Okay.
And Como as well, I guess all of them.
I have a good friend that's a camera guy in Portland.
Oh, okay.
And always did that. He was the guy in the copter. You know, he was just talking about like 800,000, many hours. It's
he used to fly Shane Cobain around doing traffic.
Shane Cobain. Traffic and weather together.
Yeah, that's
on
it.
the nines.
And Eric Kirshner, he was on Channel 5. So.
Wow. Yeah. That must have been kind of cool.
Oh, I loved it. It was one of my favorite jobs to fly.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you just go up and fly around all day long and looking for anything to be happening. Now that industry's over. They're into
it's all drone now.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, we know that. Yeah, I know that. I was saying that we filmed. My brother is a photographer and phenomenal cinematographer, really, and so we were filming on the Columbia River chasing jet skis for this thing we did.
Yeah.
And that was always the thing. It's like my brother had filmed a lot and hanging out the side of the helicopter and Tyler Mount stuff and all that. And
I used to take a lot of photographers up.
Yeah, a lot of photographers and you really, I mean, when you're at the heyday of those, when the technology got good right before drones, the Tyler Mount was basically you, the pilot, are the camera guy.
Right.
I mean, you're the photographer, and the photographer is in the back panning and zooming, but
you have to point the right way.
But you got to fly it, right? Did you ever experience that? Like get better? Sure. You get better, right?
Yeah, you get better at not putting your skids in the way.
Right, and just knowing,
the trick is
just like, turning and I got to be the guy that shoots. You're really it's you that's pointing the right way.
Yeah, I mean, we had the gyro cams that would move around a bit, but you had to be careful that if we were shooting a moving target, you had to move with it.
Right.
Otherwise, this camera would come around and start picking up your belly.
And you always have the problem of the shadow in the shot.
Yeah.
Right. That was always a thing. It's like, we have to go the other way. We can see ourselves in the shot. That's no cool. That breaks the whole motive. And I always remember Jim's like, I only want to fly with Vietnam vets because those guys are the best. They'll get the lowest and they'll know what they're doing and they've dealt with it all. And we were with a guy, man, and he was a cowboy. And I was like, it was the funnest thing ever. It was so fun chasing those guys. I mean, I was just like, I've gone a few times, but it is an unusual experience.
It is. It very much
because it seems so counterintuitive.
Sure.
To be flying. I mean, how the hell do those things work?
Well,
it's
lots of
the physics.
Lots of
are
physics.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Some of the the really good flying I really enjoyed was I went up to Alaska and flew glacier tours for a summer to build time, and that was in 2007. I got about 400 hours in the summer just flying up the glaciers. And
where was that?
Juneau.
In Juneau. Okay,
yeah,
I've been there.
Mendenhall Glacier.
I know we're talking about Mendenhall, which I saw that we filmed there. Man, I must be 6-7 years ago now.
That's a beautiful place.
Beautiful place.
Yeah.
But it's so sad to see how much that's gone.
Yeah.
That glacier is gone, dude.
I watched it go over the summer even. It just changed.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just sad, that time lapse they have in that visitor center
exactly.
over 20 years or 10 years, even 10 years, I think.
Yeah.
Just the time lapse of it shrinking it hurts your
It was
soul.
12 miles long while I was there, and I don't know what it is now, but I'm sure it's
That's a lot less, man.
Yeah.
It was, we actually walked across it for a while, and that was pretty intense, pretty cool moment. Wow. Yeah. So today, I don't know, how did you transition from 30-year career really as a first responder to concert venue owner?
Well, this would be 15 years ago now, so it kind of overlapped. I was still working as a pilot and as a paramedic and started the concerts.
Where was that?
That was in Lake Forest Park, so north end of Seattle.
So you had a venue there?
I did.
Really?
The first 9 years of my concerts doing were down in Seattle.
Okay.
And my first show was with I think the guarantee was $500, and I needed to have about 20 people show at least at $25 a head to get in there and cover it.
And where was it at?
It was in Lake Forest Park. It was in my backyard.
It was a house party.
Yeah, it was a house concert. Yes.
House concert.
Yes. And I hadn't heard of I had heard of house concerts, but I'd never been to one. And I had this pretty good sized lot in a nice backyard, and I thought, I could put something like that together.
Yeah, because you're bored.
Yeah. I got a couple hours open on Thursdays. And
it's like you're not doing enough.
Yeah, that's it. So I thought, okay, how would I build this? And I wanted to build it so that it was a really great experience for not just the musician, but also the audience, or even not just the audience, but also the musician.
Yeah. And
because the problem is when you go to a lot of these commercial venues, it's not necessarily a great experience for anybody. Like the artist generally doesn't have a great setting to be in. They're just, it's a show and go. They kind of haul everything in out of a back alley into a building. It's
not everything's the gorge.
Not everything's the gorge, exactly. But even then, I mean, it's not as, I guess, processed where this is where you go and this is where you put your stuff and this is how it goes. And same with the audience. Like you come in, you can't stand here, you can't stand there. You got to get in line for the bathroom.
Yep.
Everything just seems like
you're cattle.
Yeah. And truth be told, it's all about making money generally by the venue for the venue. Like they're bringing these people in to draw people in to sell liquor and food and whatever.
But they get their cuts.
But
that's why they're riding it, or they wouldn't do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And
it's not about the music.
Yeah. And so I wanted to build this about the music, and I wanted to be a listening place for audience members, and I wanted it to be a phenomenal experience for the performer.
Yeah.
And by doing that, and not making money out of it, it becomes just a passion of mine, which means it's for them. It's not for me, because just doing it is feeding my soul.
First concert you did, who was it? And what was it like at the end of that? Because you must have been like, I'm just going to do this. This is cool. Let's just do this.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a woman named Callahan. She was out of the UK. And incidentally, she's actually coming back this year for the first time. And at least
I was looking
since
at your,
prior to COVID.
your list. I was thinking, I might go see that.
Yeah, she's got kind of a Sarah McLachlan sound.
Yeah.
But I mean, I paid her $500 and washed her car.
How did you, why her?
So I do these music cruises, and that's where I originally met her.
That's right.
So there's these kind of music festival cruises that are out. It's kind of a big thing now, but back in the day, they were kind of just starting out. There's a company called Six Man that puts a lot of them on.
Where do they go?
Generally, they go through the Caribbean. Years they've gone to Mexico out of like New Orleans, and
You did that just to find rum.
True
Or did
story.
you find the
True
rum
story.
to find the...
I was drinking rum while I found some music. That's what happened.
I wondered
Yeah.
the chicken or egg.
Yeah, there was some rum and some chickens and eggs. So it was more of just kind of putting my toe in the water and testing this out and see if it's something that would work. And it just became a little bit of a monster, and I just started building on it to where I'll never forget. I had a big band out of Columbus, Ohio coming through, and there's a surreal moment of them just rolling off guitar racks and monitors and boxes and everything out of the trailer into my garage, like it was a backstage of a big venue. And I was just like, whoa, this is
getting big.
We're changing now.
This is getting big now. Yeah, because her and her guitar or whatever is
her
very
guitar
different.
and I think the first one might have been, there's just another guitar player, and she plays keys.
Yeah.
So it's just the two of them.
So when that was done, you must have just, what made you want to do it again?
Well, so the first year I did one show. The next year I did 2 shows. And then I think the third year I did 6, and it just kind of kept running from there.
You must have loved it.
Oh, it was great. And the neighborhood loved it. Everybody could just like grab a bottle of wine and wander on down from the house. And then initially we did a potluck for the food. Everybody bring food, and then obviously COVID kind of put a stop to that. And we never really recovered from it. We now bring in food trucks and caterers, and people can just buy
That's
food.
so cool, because my wife and I, when she was alive, we always had these great, before we were there, we were there in this neighborhood for 10 years, but they always had a block party.
Oh, right.
Every year, and it'd been going on years before us.
Yeah.
And so she kind of took it over and just made it super cool. And then we got a band one year, and everybody listened, and it was incredible, the sound that came out of our porch.
Sure.
I couldn't believe it. I'm like, this sounds unbelievable. And just, people sitting around, nice night. It was just so like, what a cool thing. And we've, got some really good artists. And then for our 10th anniversary, we did that. Yeah. And we got a band and had all our friends over. And it was just so memorable. I mean, just such a cool, I can see why at the end of that, it's just like, why don't we do this all the time? And that was during COVID. So no one, no one had heard music, and they had not played.
Yeah.
That band had not played. I think it was, I can't remember who it was, but, they play around town a lot, and they had not played in a year.
Yeah,
they were
something
so
magical
grateful
about being outside and live music outside.
So incredible. Yeah, the night was great. The sound of that music was amazing. I can see why you get kind of hooked at it.
Yeah,
having done it, had it there. But then I can imagine, oh my God, this is getting big.
Yeah.
So what'd you do?
I just kept rolling with the punches. Bigger bands were calling, and people, I'm at a point where I'm turning 50, 60 bands away a year now that want to play there.
And these bands, how do you find them?
Well, now they find me.
Right.
Right. I mean, I do find them because I find ones that I like, and I go pursue them and get a hold of their agency and try to book them. But there's a lot of them finding me.
Wow. So how long did you have the venue in Seattle? And then what made you move
8
here?
or 9 years.
Okay.
And I built
How many could sit there? How many could you seat?
The most we ever had at that show, which was super packed, or at that venue, was we had 232 people in the backyard, all in low back chairs.
This is in your backyard.
It was tight. I mean, it was. But now,
because the venue you have now is about that.
It's about 250, but it's a comfortable 200.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's not a. You're not jammed in. You want any more? You good?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, right. It's pretty good. So, what brought you back here?
Back to Spokane area, or Eastern Washington.
Right, Eastern Washington.
It was an evening of rain in April.
Again.
Continuously. And I just had this, there was COVID, it was happening.
Yeah.
I believe somewhere along in there was a George Floyd thing going on.
Yep.
There was some marching, people protesting, and there's just a lot of bad energy going on.
Yeah.
And the city, it felt like the walls were coming in. on me, and I had...
You were still a paramedic at that time?
Still paramedic.
Yeah. So you're in the middle of that stuff.
I am. And I am eligible to retire in September, and this is April. And I just kind of typed online. I just typed in waterfront homes in Washington for sale, just because I felt like I just had to get out of here. And I don't know why I was thinking, but who knows?
Being near the water.
Yeah, I'm a water person. I need to be by water. So this place that I currently have came up, and I was just floored at how I had such a distorted view of what cost was, or value, I should say, because in Seattle area, value was off the marks. I mean, it was just crazy. And so when I'm seeing something like this with 10 acres on the water in Eastern Washington, is like, wait a minute.
Is this real?
What's wrong with it? Like, are there bodies on this thing?
Right. It must be. Yeah, exactly. Because the price point, I don't know if you want to say, but what was the difference between what you would have gotten?
Well, my place where I'm living now, anywhere near Seattle, was a $7 to $10 million home. And it was under $1 million where I found it. So it was, it caught my eye for sure.
7 times less or 8.
Yeah, potentially 10. I mean,
7 to 10, right.
So that was it. And I just,
you had a wife to convince?
Well, I was a girlfriend at the time, and I remember telling her, all right, if it's half as good as it looks like online, I'd like to buy it. And her response was, well, I'm not ready to move for about 2 years. And I was thinking, well, this is where I'll be, because I just want to get out of there.
Yeah, right. You had to, right?
Yeah, for sure. And it worked out great. I mean, we're now married, and we're both very happy there. And the beauty of it is, it's just, I just remember sitting on the hillside when I was first getting it, and I heard some noise I thought was a truck pulling into the driveway. And I got up and I walked around the house to the front side and realized it was just wind in the trees. I thought, wow, that's how uncalibrated my brain is. I've been in the urban setting so much that I need to get back to my roots. Yeah. So here I am.
Yeah. So why Eastern Washington? Was it just that place?
It was that place.
Or was it, I want to get back over here?
No, because I actually had no intention of ever coming back to Cal Falls.
Because waterfront Washington could be a lot of places. Yeah, probably West Side first for you.
But not affordable.
Not affordable. Sure.
No. Eastern side, really, after I thought about it, it became, because I wanted to do the concert still, but I had a true anxiety of like it pouring down rain in August in Seattle. Yeah. During the show. Yeah. And over here, you got a pretty good confidence that it's going to be pretty dry all summer.
I always say, because I've been filming forever over here, and it's like, it's never the 4th because it'll rain. But from the 5th of July to, Halloween, it's pretty damn clear. Yep. It's pretty, you're going to get your moments for sure. Spots, sure. But it's tolerable.
And so by running these shows, I always had that anxiety of like, oh, boy, I hope it's not raining in June or July. Yeah. And out here, it's more confident, and it's going to be better.
Okay. So you turned this into Live at Andres.
That's true.
Which is what it is now.
Right. Which is what it was when it began.
Look at the swag I got here, brother. Look, with the guitar pick coming out the side. Thank you for that. Course. That's really cool. So this is a concert venue that is in 9 Mile Falls, Washington. Correct. From here, 40 minutes probably. Yeah. Something like that. And it's not like, I have family that grew up in 9 Mile, right, kind of just down from the dam. This ain't just down from the dam. This is a ways past that.
Just down on Long Lake.
But it is, I have never been down that far before. I came and checked it out. And I'm just like, I kept going and going and going. And I'm like, it is so amazing down here. I did not realize how incredible that stretch of our region is. Yeah. It's
amazing.
Unbelievable and quiet. Yeah. But then I pull up to this house. And I'm like, this is a badass house. This is cool. You come out. I'm like, what is this place? And you take me to the back. We're going to drop in photos so people see this, because there's no way to explain this thing. If you've got to watch this on YouTube, if you're listening on Apple, we'll switch over to Spotify or YouTube. My first thought was, this is the gorge. Yeah. It's the little gorge.
It's been tagged as the mini gorge.
Mini gorge. Yeah. It is incredible.
Thank you.
the view is stunning.
Yeah, I had nothing to do with that.
Well, you did not. But it is sort of at the end of the Spokane River.
Yeah, well, it's literally 14 miles from between dams. So it's at the stretch between the 9 Mile Dam and the Ford Dam or Long Lake Dam.
Long Lake Dam
is 28 miles, and we are about dead center in it.
Wow.
And
right on the bend.
Right on the bend.
I mean, that's the coolest. That's the other cool part. I mean, you as a photographer, you could not have lined up your stage any cooler on the bend.
And truth be told, when I first got the place, I wanted to continue the concerts, but I was actually originally thinking about doing them under this big ponderosa that's in the front of the house, part of that big circle.
Oh, sure.
That's where I thought they would be.
Because the drive up. Yeah. It's like, I mean, the Masters was just on. So I'm like, when you check in at the gate and I'm going down the thing, I'm like, this is Magnolia Lane. This is like going up to the Masters.
Yep. It's lined with willow trees.
Lined with beautiful willow trees.
An orchard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my original thought was to put it
out front, but only because I thought the hillside was too steep. And when I talked
because
it is steep.
But it probably more steep before you did what you did to it.
No, not necessarily. I didn't change any dirt.
Yeah, really. But you put those
the terracing.
In,
of course.
Terracing.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as the hillside itself, I never changed it.
Okay, yeah.
And I thought it was just too steep to build on. But I have a contractor, family friend, that I asked him about it, and I said, "Hey, is this too steep to build on?" He says, "No, you just build like the old stage. Just you have longer pillars in the back or posts in the back." And he came over and we put it together. Actually, it took us about 2 days to build the stage, and so it's basically the same stage I had in Seattle, footprint size wise, but it's just on.
Did you just take the stuff with you?
No, it's still built in the backyard of my old house.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
No way.
It's probably just rotting away.
Have they continued to do a concert? Oh, that's
I don't
too
believe
bad. What a cool spot that must have.
Well, you got to have. I mean,
the truth
you
got to love this.
I've always said I would never work this hard for money, so it's a lot of work.
It is a lot.
I'm not going to lie.
But it's a passion, right?
It is 100% a passion.
But it's so impeccable there. I mean, so I heard about this from my good friend Mike Nelling, and Mike's like, "Hey, I know you're always looking for cool people on your podcast. You got to talk to Andre. This place is amazing." He went to, he and his wife went to a concert there, and were blown away by just the experience and what it was like. So when you get there, you come down Magnolia Lane or whatever, Willow Lane, and you pull into this place. There's food trucks. Mm-hmm. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's a date night. You come out, you get food, and you
get to the backyard, and it's not a backyard. It is this incredible view of the Spokane River, pretty far up. Yeah. I don't know how far up you guys are.
300 feet above the water.
300 feet above the water.
Yeah.
It's a killer stage, really comfortable seating. Mm-hmm. I mean, lots of room that you put in.
Yep.
How many railroad ties did you drop into that joint?
120, if anyone's counting. And the thing about railroad ties is some of them are 75 pounds and some of them are 275 pounds, but they all look the same. And I moved every one of those by hand, putting them in. And I told my wife, I said, I'm either going to die or I'm going to get super fit on this hillside. Neither happened, of course. I don't know how.
Unfortunately, the fit part. You're pretty fit. Come on.
Not after doing that.
Well, we're probably in the same. When did you graduate from high school?
85.
Oh, dude. Big 80. There we go. Right? No wonder you're so cool. No wonder I put them on. No wonder. Yeah. We know how to party. Come on.
That's it. In fact, we just had our 40th anniversary.
Yes, me reunion too. Last year.
And a bunch of the Kettle Falls alumni came to a show that summer.
Oh,
actually,
cool
last summer, the same weekend of our reunion.
So all that stuff you talk about in Kettle Falls, knowing how to change your own tire, change your tire and all that stuff, and all the work as a firefighter, paramedic, that had to have, the rigging,
yeah,
that had to be part of why because to build a place like that, that's a lot of work. And it's also, I could see the firefighter in you because you walk in that place and first of all, there's a lot of tribute to firefighters, which we'll talk about, but it's an impact, like firefighters, a place for everything has a place.
Yes.
Right.
Story.
You got to have your shit together.
Guilty.
Right.
Yeah.
We're a little bit like that when our studio, like our anal, like don't move this
right,
because the next guy's going to need it. Right. And that place is impeccable.
Well, thank you.
Not only your house upstairs, which is not everybody gets to see, but I got to. That was cool. But the downstairs experience for explain to me what the artist gets. So this is talking them in. No wonder they're calling you, because they're not getting this experience as an artist at a venue anywhere else.
No,
so what are they getting?
I built kind of a green room or an artist area, which starts with an artist room. So if it's a solo artist, they get a bedroom that has one of the better views in the entire house, looking right down the river.
Unbelievable.
And then there's just kind of a game room, which has a foosball table, pool table.
Almost as cool as mine.
Yes, I did see you when I came in.
We might have to play.
Yeah,
I'm not playing you.
Yeah. No, I'm the worst player for a guy that owns the table. I can assure you.
I'm the second worst.
But it's just and then there's an area that has the workout area, or even just a rehearsal area. There's my drum kit and an area for practicing music. And then built into that, we have a full bar that you can pull up and order your drinks or make a drink or whatever. And
for the artist.
Yeah, for the artist. And then just off the kick off of that is a full home theater, which has a 120-inch screen to watch movies. So there's usually, the biggest issue for artists, or not a biggest issue, but a big issue for artists
is how am I going to get through all that booze?
Right. That's true, but I have backup.
Have they made a dent?
No.
No, okay.
Well, periodically, yeah. There's been a few bands that have come through, and
there's multiple people.
Yeah. But there's a big gap between when you're done with sound check and when you actually go on stage, and that time wise, that gap. And so what happens is that's their time. But if you're not in a very savory place, that's not a great time.
No, it's not.
Right?
Yeah, I think
generally speaking, if you're at a venue and you're staying in a hotel, they're not next to each other.
Right.
So you can't just necessarily go back to your hotel. You may just be stuck
kicking
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We experienced that even with the artists who came to our house.
Sure.
They're like, I'm waiting around. We're like, we kind of tried to make them comfortable.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this is a space.
There is that sort of, you feel that obligation
of hospitality.
For sure.
So there is a space for them, and they can do a lot of different things there, or they can walk down to the river. But that entire space of the entire house is a closed off space for the artist.
Dedicated to them.
Meaning none of the attendees, none of my family, friends, or anyone are coming in and out of the house.
It's their spot.
It's their space. And if anyone wants to go inside for something, they have to go through me or one of my people that are working at the door.
That's so cool.
And so it
becomes
draw-off. Yes. But it also becomes a place where they have a place where they can lay in a normal bedroom, and they can get their laundry done, and they can have a home cooked meal.
They can catch up.
And they can just defuse or de-escalate, whatever it is they need to bring down.
Because they've been on the road.
Absolutely. They've been stuck in a van sometimes.
Are a lot of these guys on a circuit? Are they coming from somewhere? Are they coming from Boise? Or are they just randomly coming from everywhere?
Well, it's a mix.
I always wondered about that. Because I know there's a circuit.
Yeah, and part of by design being just off of I-90, we're about 30 minutes off I-90, that allows me to grab people that are either coming up to Seattle and heading east, or coming up from Idaho and heading south.
So from going west. From I-90, what am I taking? Maple?
That can be one. Or if you come on the backside, you can get up near the airport.
I was going to say by airport. Yeah, that back road there.
You come down like
Airway
Flint
Heights.
And down through Airway Heights. Yeah,
that's cool.
So there are
casino.
Yeah.
So you might get casino dudes who are playing at Northern Quest or Spokane Tribe up there, and they're heading down.
Sometimes, but the issue with that is there's a thing called a radius clause, and what that is generally artists are set up where they have a contract signed with a venue they're playing, and that contract will include that they can't play within so many miles and so many hours of that particular show.
Oh.
So generally they have to move at least a few miles or a few hours down the road, a few hours.
Right, you're too close.
Like I can pick up some Coeur d'Alene folks sometimes.
Yeah, because that's far enough away, Sandpoint.
Right, but nothing here in town generally, unless it's unadvertised or something like that.
Okay.
So
wow, interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah, there's a whole, and quite frankly, when I started doing this is a whole nother language, dealing with agents. I remember being on the phone early in my doing this, on the phone, literally Googling words they were using to figure out what they were talking about and if I could offer that, what may be.
Right.
And just learning the whole terminology and just learning how the industry works. And it's been an education.
Thank God for YouTube.
Exactly. But for 15 years of this, I'm still learning, and I doubt that I'll ever stop learning. I just learned something this last year on the boat on one of those music cruises, talking to one of the musicians, just about having them hold dates. A lot of times an artist will hold a date or an agent will hold a date. And when you want to get them to kind of get off the pot, either take it or not, you tell them that you have another artist that's challenging that date.
That's right.
And I hadn't heard of that before until this last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
well, you're not a producer, dude. I do that all the time.
Well, but I'm learning, right?
Yeah.
So,
no, yeah.
And, but now I can move through the industry a little more comfortably. And also my exposure to these agents, generally speaking, is about, I don't know, maybe 10 or 12 major agencies.
They know who you are now.
Yes, I'm a known
and they
entity.
trust you, and you're
right.
credible, and you've come through, and now you
right.
have a waiting list.
Right.
Wow.
Or they'll call me up and say, hey, I got so-and-so routing through. You asked about if they come through. Mm-hmm. If they're trying to build a West Coast route.
They'll come from Boise or something, right?
Yeah, or they'll come from Seattle. They play triple door.
Yeah, they're like, I got to get from Boise to Seattle. I don't have a gig at the casinos or in Spokane.
Sure.
I could stop.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Right. But then some people do fly in. I have a band that's coming in this year that's flying in, actually a couple of them, but talking with the guys today, and they're saying, hey, do you have any chance you have a keyboard? And I said, I don't, but we can rent one. And they go, generally we're going to need one. And I said, well, since you guys are so bougie and flying in.
Fancy pants.
That, I said, normally people are dragging their stuff around in a van. And so I haven't had to have a keyboard.
So you got one now?
No, I don't have one.
Oh,
but,
I see.
But we were having that conversation today about, he says, well, maybe we'll just buy like a $400 one that we can just leave there. And,
I might be able to hook you up.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Seriously. My son's probably got one. Actually.
There you go. Well, I've been building backline for years. I've got a lot of instruments and just guitars and.
Speaking of, you want to have everything ready for the artist when they get there. And you have, which I thought was very cool, the Oh Shit kit.
Yes. Explain
the Oh Shit kit.
Well, the Oh Shit.
Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Okay.
The Oh Shit kit came about because of geographical location. If you break something, you can't just run down to Guitar Center.
You can't run down to the Radio Shack, which there isn't anymore. But
exactly.
You can't Guitar Center, right? That's where you go now.
So I have a crate that I bought at a secondhand store that's like it looks like an old pirate crate. It's pretty cool.
It's cool.
And I painted on there the Oh Shit kit and used the Andre logo, Live at Andre's logo with the tree as an eye. And basically it has guitar straps, it has guitar strings.
Strings especially.
It has picks, it has capos, it has chords. There's drum heads in there. There's 9-volt batteries for the guitars.
Yep.
All the things that you're going to end up, if you need it, you need it type of thing. Now, I did have an artist at one point, when I showed it to them, they looked at it and went, oh, and they pulled some strings out and they go, oh, a set of guitar strings, and says, oh, well, can I have these? And so it was so disarming for me. I just was like, yeah, sure. Then I had to go buy another set.
These are better than mine.
So they didn't quite pick up what it was for.
It's like
it was
playing
not
a golf course when you're on the road and the clubs are better than yours.
Yeah. They just were like,
Rental
well,
clubs.
Can I have these? I'm like, well, this isn't like a stop and grab, it's not like a stop and shop.
This is in case.
This is in case, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing you have on the wall there, which I think is really cool, a big tribute to firefighters.
Correct.
So badges from where? And then you got that big wooden board. Explain those to me.
Okay. So the patches that you're talking about are in picture frames. I will collect fire department patches wherever I travel. So I always keep a few Seattle Fire ones in my travel bag. And wherever cities I've ever been to that I haven't been to before, I'll stop by the fire station and exchange patches with them.
That's cool.
Sometimes I have them, sometimes I don't. So generally I approach it as I either have a gift or a trade for you. And if they have one, they'll give me one.
That's cool.
But then, and that's just in picture frames as you saw around the basement area.
Yeah. Any of those you're most proud of?
Not particular. I wouldn't put pride on them. I just think they're
all cool.
Unique. I mean, here's the deal. I used to trade T-shirts. They always want to trade shirts.
We just traded T-shirts.
Sure, we did.
We did.
We did. But the problem with the fire department shirts is they're all the same. they're all dark blue, navy blue shirts that say whatever fire department.
You got a bazillion of those, dude.
How many shirts do you need to mow the lawn in, right? So, and they're not usually unique. They're just a blue shirt with whatever their name is on it.
Right.
So what I found was the patches were not only small and compact, and you can display them. They're different.
They are.
They're all very different.
They are unique, aren't they?
And so that was the nice part about it. I thought, well, I'll switch it to patches.
Yeah.
And that's what I do now.
And they're all framed. I mean, you have a ton of them.
I still have Ziploc bags full of them.
Really?
Yeah.
You've been a lot of places.
I
You
have.
love to travel?
Well, it's part of the flying.
Favorite place you've traveled?
Favorite place?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let's just say broadly the Caribbean.
Yeah. Well, so where do you go when you go to the Caribbean? If I'm going to go to the Caribbean, where's my Andre trip? I probably should do this. I should follow your advice and go. I've always wanted to go there.
I've had some great trips to Puerto Rico. This last year we were in Dominican Republic with the cruise. So the Southern Caribbean's beautiful. Definitely. We were just down in last winter in St. Lucia,
yeah.
which is, boy, that's a nice spot.
I bet.
That's super nice.
Wow. That's where you found that rum that you love.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's why.
Well, part of it. The nice part about a lot of these Caribbean islands is the expenses are absolutely unbelievable. Like you can get a day's worth of drinking and food for $20.
Wow.
So
crazy.
if you don't go in,
you just got to get there.
Well, you don't get in the touristy areas. Go into the rural cities, or not the cities, but the rural neighborhoods of where the locals are going.
For sure.
Right.
So you go on cruises. What are the cruises? Are there particular ones that you go to and play on, or you?
Well, they're just the music cruises, and I've been going with Sean Mullins for years now on this one.
Okay, because Sean is a big. He's your only regular, right? That comes back every year.
Not only, but he is a pretty predominant regular.
So how did you meet Sean?
Well, the very first time I met Sean was up in Alaska flying helicopter tours on the Mendenhall Glacier.
Wow.
And he came up and played the night of my birthday in a little bar called the Martini. Oh, shoot.
In Juneau.
I
love that town. That little hillside.
Martellini's or something like that. I can't remember what it's called. But at any rate, I met him the first time in 2007. And then fast forward years later, met him on that cruise, and then ultimately started playing my place.
And you're like, hey, I flew you on a helicopter. Is that what you said to him? That's funny.
No, I tried to. I was going to bring him up the next day, but the weather was too
okay.
poor.
Okay.
Anyway, so we've become pretty close friends, and so every year he brings me on that boat, and I'll play percussion, drums with him now and again, and it's just been a good time.
That's cool. So the other thing that you have beyond the patches,
right? Oh yes, is this board, and it's a dear friend of mine in town here cut out the numbers for me, but it's 343.
I know. I saw this board. It's this big, like wooden board. 343.
Yeah, it's like a live edge.
I'm
board.
like, what is 343? And
343 is now we have an annual show that we do each year. The last show of the year is our fire department tribute show. And I will accept donations from the entire community, whatever they have, and we'll make a live auction to raise funds for fallen firefighter families.
Like a paddle raise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to give money to families that have been damaged by the department or their work or whatever. Some of them are losses, some are injuries. This last year we raised funds for the family in Coeur d'Alene that had one of the gentlemen that was shot during that fire that was started.
Yeah.
So we're helping out them. The 343, and this year will be the 25-year anniversary but it's the number of firefighters that were lost in the Twin Towers in New York.
Yeah.
So that board gets hung up over the stage, and we'll have a moment of silence for those folks, and then continue on with raising funds for them and having a good show.
What was that day like for you, 9/11?
9/11 was odd. I was working that day. Because it's East Coast, it was earlier on the West Coast. And I remember I was getting ready for work, and I had a little TV in the kitchen. Mm-hmm. I remember looking at it, and they were showing pictures. They were certainly discombobulated because it was pretty overwhelming for most folks. And even the media, they had a picture of the Twin Towers, and it said, at the bottom, it said, the Pentagon. And I'm going, that's not the Pentagon. But because they had pictures of the Pentagon.
The graphic was wrong.
Yes, the graphic was wrong. And they were talking about these planes. And I remember thinking, wait a minute, like I'm going into work right now. This is happening on the East Coast. I didn't know what was going to happen on that day.
Nobody did, right?
Nobody did.
Yeah, the target could be anywhere.
And so I remember on my way to work, I called my parents and I said, look, I don't know what's going on, but I'm heading into work and you may not hear from me for a while because I didn't know what it was going to turn into.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it was probably one of the least busiest days of my entire career.
I bet.
Because everybody was so glued to their TVs. Nobody called 911. We didn't do anything.
Wow.
We just sat there the entire 24-hour shift.
But what did you think of the people that were on the ground there?
In New York?
Yeah.
It was pretty exhausting just watching what was going on. I mean, just the amount of resources that was having to be thrown at that and just thinking of the magnitude of having to approach them like that was just mind-boggling.
Yeah. I have a friend that is a writer. Jess Walter, amazing writer, lives here. And he was actually writing a book on the police chief of New York City. And it had already gone to print, and they stopped it and said, you got to write another chapter after this happened, literally. Yeah. And he went, and he was on the ground at Ground Zero less than 24 hours after it had happened and talking to some of the first responders, police especially. And he just said, it's indescribable how scary that place was. He said, what I remember him saying was, I've never wanted to leave a place more in my life than there.
Yeah.
And, you know, he would have officers, firefighters that would take him to a place and then have to go back again just to be like, I can't even remember that this happened. I mean, they're still in shock, obviously.
Sure, of course.
From that, because it was such a short amount of time.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that would have been like and how to process that? Or did you just like, I can't go there because I got a job to do?
No, I mean, what it did was it opened your eyes as to what was possible, right?
I mean, you must have cared. You still have a tribute.
Sure. Well, I definitely cared about it, and I definitely care for the fallen. But the biggest part for me, I think, at that time was just more of like, wow. I mean, the same thing happened. One of my first days at work was when the earthquake hit San Francisco.
Ooh, yeah.
And I remember sitting there at work watching it on TV, and it was just, again, like, this is the kind of stuff that we could be up against.
This could happen, and
right,
honestly likely will.
Sure.
In Seattle in the next 100 years.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I've sat on the board of the Red Cross here, and we got instructed one day at one of our meetings by someone who said, Mount Rainier's going to blow. It's an active volcano, and it could be tomorrow, it could be 100 years from now, but it's going to go. Yeah. And when it does, Tacoma will be under mud.
Yeah.
And anyone who survives it will come here.
Right. Yeah.
Do you guys have a plan? And we're all looking at each other like, no. And now there is one, you know, but I mean, it's a real thing. These things are going to happen, and they happen. And we're occupying a planet that, you know,
it's in motion.
That Mother Nature's in charge, baby. Yeah. We're taking the play.
We're on for the ride.
We're pushing it. Yeah, we are on for the ride. That's crazy. I think that's so cool that you do that, the tribute, that you honor the firefighters, and that, especially that you gave to this group from Coeur d'Alene this last year.
The first one we started with Cody Traber, who was in the vicinity of where we live. He was a firefighter in Spokane County. And that's where it started, was that had happened. And I thought, you know what? We should probably do something for these people.
That's so cool.
And we initially did some donations to him and his wife and young kids. He was the one that accidentally or somehow ultimately fell from the bridge up north.
Right.
And so first year we gave to his wife and the kids. And then the next year we gave to the other one. We had one in the Spokane Valley that had passed. And then the following year we gave to, they were building a memorial for Cody Traber.
Yeah.
And so I think we donated a few $1,000s to that as well.
That's really cool.
So it's an annual thing.
You don't have to do that, but you do it.
Yeah, absolutely. It keeps me connected with the industry and helping out, really, is what it comes down to.
How do you like living in 9 Mile?
Love it.
I love it out there. Yeah. My buddy Jeff has the feed store.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that.
Yeah. Did you ever meet him? You got to meet Jeff Aiden.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Talking about interesting.
All right.
If I had him on here, his head would just go.
Because he's the new
Curator, the owner of that.
Yeah.
From what I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's supposed to be cool in there. I don't know.
It's definitely changed.
Has it? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, he put a lot into it. He's an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Wow,
they're renting tools now and equipment.
That's cool.
Yeah,
well, if you look, I bet they are.
It's a good spot to have.
I bet they are. So you have access also to the river.
Correct.
So do you go down there? Do you like go on the river? Do you fit? What's going on down there?
All summer long.
How trail good? Like, how do you get down? It's pretty steep, dude.
Yeah. Well, originally it had 460 concrete steps that went from the water straight up to the house.
Oh my! Somebody put that in. I have a little lake place that has concrete steps.
Yeah, not happening.
Thank God. What?
That's not happening. I took them out.
You took them out? Why?
Well, I didn't take them out. I put in a trail.
Oh, really? Why?
Yeah. So you could drive down. Who wants to?
Oh, you're driving.
After you get out of the water, do you want to walk up 260 or 460
You're
stairs?
driving up there. Oh, that's even cooler. So you got a road.
Yeah, it's a trail that you can take a side-by-side down or a four-wheeler.
Four-wheeler.
Yeah.
Oh, that's even smarter.
Yeah.
That's cool. No, I was grateful to have steps. I'm like, dude.
No, the steps
I didn't
are
put
great,
them in.
but I wasn't walking them. I did it maybe 10 times.
Right. Yeah. So you take boat rides on it. You probably take the artists out.
We take a couple jet skis down there and a boat and
do the artists so they come in when? Like you usually a Saturday night show or
if
something?
they're on the road driving a tour, they'll probably come on day of the show and then they'll spend the night and potentially leave the next day or maybe not.
So sometimes they stay a bit.
They may stay. The first time Sean Mullins played there, he and his wife stayed for, I think, 12 days.
Oh, my God. You're like, this wasn't part of the deal. You need to leave now. I can't continue to give you rum.
By then they were great friends, and so it was awesome.
Yeah, well, I've seen your bar. Why would that bedroom? Yeah. Why would I leave? Oh, my God. It's so cool there.
I have a little book. I didn't actually show this to you, but I have a little book in the artist room that they can all sign or write something about their experience. Cool. And one of the artists wrote, he signed his name. He says, your new roommate.
Yeah, I bet. Well, the other thing you do at the end of every year, you put together this beautiful book.
Yeah. So that's from my photographer, Boom Baker. And he takes photos for every show.
That's cool.
And then we put them up on the website.
Nice.
And then at the end of the year, he has a book that he puts together of all the photos from the year. And it's nice to have. I've got, I believe, 4 of them from this side and at least 1 or 2 from the Seattle side.
That's cool. So, what a great memory for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were just flipping through. One of the neighbors came up. We were looking through them yesterday.
That's so cool. So, take me through the concert, the series this year. Who do you got coming? Because it starts when? And
June 6th to September 12th.
Okay. Are you sold out?
No. They just went on sale about 2 weeks ago. And
we'll try to get this out in the next couple of weeks. But
yeah,
if you've seen this, you better hurry.
It's worth going to, yes.
It's going to fill up fast.
Yeah. So we have a couple new bands coming, and we've got a couple of returning ones. Total of 10 shows. Actually, it's 11 shows, but there's 10 dates.
11 shows. Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Is it every weekend?
No, it's 3 in June, 3 in July, 3 in August, and 1 in September.
Well, that's not too bad.
So that's enough to keep me, I can still have a summer, and you guys can still get great music.
Yeah, Sean Mullins is still coming, and you mentioned somebody else. Any other bands you're excited about coming?
I'm excited about Brian Vander Ark, who's the lead singer for the Verve Pipe, and we may be getting the entire Verve Pipe band in as well, but we're just sorting that out.
Are they the dudes with the horns you were excited about?
No, that's Bywater Call. They're out of New Orleans, and they got horn section, and that I'm really looking forward to.
That sounded cool to me.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So I don't know that you make this happen, but you often seem to be playing with these bands. You are a drummer and a percussionist. Is that part of the deal? Hey, come play my house. I got to play.
No, it's not part of the deal, but I definitely offer. And it's never been turned down. I had one band or one artist kind of look at me sideways like, was that like a thing? But
is that part of the deal?
No, and it didn't go very well. It was fine, but it became a little awkward.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, they're like, oh, yeah, cool. We can sit in for a song or two. That'd be great. I did have one artist a couple years ago, who was kind of like, yeah, I might be able to find a song. And then once we started kind of rehearsing a little bit, which doesn't always happen. Sometimes it's just
get in there and go.
Get in there and do it.
Yeah.
But this artist said, yeah, and we played a little bit. And by the end of our little tinkering around, she was like, she had me playing, I think, 7 songs. because she was like, wait a minute, you do know what you're doing.
He's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do this. But no, it's been fun. I've even had a musician actually pay me and have me come play another show in Seattle the following night.
Wow.
So it's been great. I've done probably, I need to figure this out. I need to sit down and figure it out. But I've had about 130 shows, I believe.
Wow.
And I've played with every one of them.
Wow. Really? Every one of them?
Every one.
Even that guy that was looking at you sideways.
He got me in there at the last song. And that was the funny part is he goes,
you gotta keep the streak going.
He goes, well, I guess it's a thing. We bring Andre up. And it felt like that walk was one of the most awkward walks ever.
What a dick.
You know.
He didn't need to say that.
It's true, but
you held your own?
It happens. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he was cool after that. He was like, why did I bring you up sooner? Favorite band you've had in your, whether it's Seattle or here, favorite band you've had?
Favorite.
I know you can't pick. They're like all your kids or whatever. But no, you like.
I'd say one of the most well-received bands is a band out of Columbus, Ohio called Red Wanting Blue. And they're coming back. But that one generally sells out and people from all over love to come to this band. This band is really big in the Midwest. Like has big shows, tons of people, sells out all the time. In Seattle can maybe get 30 people.
Really?
But since I've brought them out, there's a big draw here for them.
What is it?
And they come
is
all
it the
out.
Style of music? Is it?
They're kind of without being cornered into who they are, but they have kind of a Counting Crows feel.
Oh, cool.
So.
I love Counting Crows.
But they're just a great band.
Wow. The band or artist you would love to have, if you could wave your magic wand.
Yeah. I've made some attempts.
Or ones you didn't get that you wanted.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of those. I've made some attempts, and I think it's something that could happen in the future. I don't know. I feel like as more of a fundraising for them, but I think an intimate night with an acoustic Dave Matthews would be a phenomenal thing to do.
Wow.
And I've got enough connections in the Seattle market that I might be able to pull it off.
Yeah, it's a Seattle
I've
guy.
actually met him a couple times.
Really?
I met him at a fundraiser for his kid's school one time, and we were just chatting for a bit.
Oh, that's cool.
And then fast forward a few years, I had invited him and his kids to come to the fire station.
I mean, the Gorge is his favorite place. It's
right next door.
This is the mini Gorge.
Yeah. But I met him and I invited his kids out to the fire station when they were younger. And he says, yeah, that might be cool because he lives in Seattle.
Yeah. And
so he actually just lives down the street from the fire station, one of the stations I worked at. And going forward, I was sitting in a Starbucks in Seattle at Green Lake with a few other medics. It was, I believe, around COVID. And I'm looking over. He walks in with his son, and they sit down now at the same table. It's one of those where it's a real big table we all share. And I'm sitting down there going, I'm trying to figure out how I can go talk to him because I want to talk to him about
Matthews.
Yeah, and I had talked to him before, and I think I could probably go. But I didn't want to be that guy.
Yeah, nobody
right?
does. Nobody does.
He's out having coffee with his kid.
No, but you only get now.
So he's sitting there, and I look over, and I'm talking with the medic I'm working with, and he goes, he had been listening to him. I hadn't been. And he goes, well, he's talking about you right now. And I said, what do you mean? He says he's sitting there telling his son he recognizes me from somewhere, but he doesn't know where. And I went,
well, now it's my opening, brother.
I have to go now.
You have to go.
So I walk over to him and I said, hey, I'm Andre McGann, and he goes, I was just trying to figure out how I know you. How do I know you?
That's so cool.
And I said, well, we met a few years back at the kids thing at the school. And
I'm a firefighter.
And I said, yeah, I invited you out for the kids to come to the fire station. He goes, oh yeah, they're kind of too old for that now. I said, no, it's not on the table anymore. But, so, and I gave him my card for the artist or for the shows. And, I haven't heard from him, but
for sure.
One day, you never know.
So that was for the shows in Seattle.
That was Seattle. Yeah.
Yeah. But this
a different thing now.
This is a different thing now.
Yeah.
This is not, you must still have fond memories of the backyard, but this has got to be pretty,
oh, it's great.
This is your dream.
This is my happy place.
Were you envisioning this the whole way? You probably couldn't have, but as soon as you saw this property, you went,
oh no, I would already, 100%. I just didn't know how I was going to capture that view because I didn't know I could build on that hill.
Right.
I didn't think it was physically possible to.
Right.
Which it's not as steep. At the end of the day, it's not as steep as you think it is.
It doesn't even seem at that. Well, at least now. Maybe
it's
you had to
steep,
put
but when
some
you
stuff in.
think about it, it's not crazy.
No, it's not that crazy. Wow. How long do you think you're going to keep doing this?
I don't know. That crossed my mind not too many days ago.
Did it? Well, I know how old you are. Everything crosses your mind at this point.
You don't know as well as I know how old I am.
Yeah, I do.
No, I don't know. I don't know if there's an end date. I feel like it's just until
why would there be?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we're still pretty young.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're still in your 50s.
I feel like if I can't do it to the level that I want it, that's really where it comes down to, right?
Is it so much work getting ready for these guys?
It's a lot.
It's a lot of work.
But I think the biggest lift is in the wintertime.
Really?
When I'm having to deal with agents and booking and all of that.
Oh, that's worse than getting the place ready.
Well, I mean, who doesn't mind mowing the lawn? That's one thing.
Right.
But to sit there and try and negotiate. I had an agent one time.
Yeah, that sucks.
I made an offer. He came back and says, nope. And I go, oh, okay. What if I offer a little more money? And he got super mad at me. He was like, well,
why?
And I said, why? He says, forget it. He got super mad at me. And I said, what's the problem? He says, if you could offer that before, why didn't you offer it beginning? Because I went up.
Whatever.
And I said, well, because I have to adjust the ticket prices now. I have to move things around to make that money more.
Right.
And anyway, so that's just the stuff you're up against.
Yeah, I know. So to go, what's the ticket price? Speaking of, do you sell a pass? Do you sell, or is it by show?
You can do both.
Wow.
I have probably 20, 25 people that buy a series pass. And a series pass is
all 11 shows.
All of the shows. All 11 shows.
That's cool.
This year, that's $500.
Pretty good deal for 11 shows.
Yeah, it's about $43 each or something like that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And then this year, the tickets range anywhere from $50 to $75, but they're generally about $50. The $75 one is a co-bill, so there's 2 shows that night, and that's the fire department tribute show.
Okay, so that's the bigger show at the end.
And that has Michelle Malone is a kind of a Melissa Etheridge meets Sheryl Crow kind of rocking chick with a guitar.
Nice.
And she's played several times at Live at Andres, and it's a big draw too. She's fun.
Wow, that's cool. Well, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
for never being on a podcast. You're faking it pretty damn well, I gotta say. Maybe it's the whiskey.
That was it. It was just wonderful stuff.
All right. Well, I'm going to come to a show this year.
We will
I
have
don't
a
know
ticket
which
for
one.
you.
I don't know which one. Okay, good. I'll let you. I'll see. I'll look at I'll look at the roundup. Oh, by the way, how do people find you?
You can find me on Facebook, Live at Andres. It's also on Instagram. But then primarily, you go to the website. And the website is just liveatandres.com.
Liveatandres.com.
liveatandres.com. And there's all the pictures you can click on. If you click on an artist, there'll be a link to their music, so you can kind of see a little video of what they're like.
Yeah. That's cool.
You can purchase tickets. Yeah.
Well,
you will not get a physical ticket. I run into this every year, and I try.
Okay.
You will not
get a physical ticket.
When did that change? You will be on the guest list.
Oh, that's even better.
So when you buy your ticket, you're done. You show up, give them your name, you're in.
That's cool. It's easier for you.
Yep. And everybody.
Did you used to have to print tickets and all that?
I used to, just out of, I don't know, kind of the notoriety of it.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool. I used to make them look like the Ticketmaster tickets.
Yeah.
But that was back when I had time to really mess with that kind of level of stuff.
Yeah, now it's just like, if you're not on the list, you're out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just get a lot of inquiries, and I try to make it visible on the website.
And you're big enough to be your own bouncer. Let's be honest. I'm not messing with you.
Fortunately, we haven't had to deal with any of that type of issue.
No, not
it
this
is,
crowd.
It is BYOB, so I'm not giving you or selling you any booze. But,
that's so people can bring?
Yep. But there will be food available for purchase.
Food trucks, yeah.
That's really good.
Wow. Well, I can't wait to go. I'm excited for it.
Can't wait to see you there.
Thank you for being on the Most Interesting Person You've Never Heard of podcast.
Okay. Well, hopefully I still am.
MIP Podcast was filmed at the studio of Corner Booth Media. Please sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on social media. You can also listen to us on Spotify, Apple Music, and anywhere podcasts can be found. We'd love it if you'd rate, review, and subscribe to help our podcast grow. Be good to yourself and stay interesting.